They hadn't said much about the pain caused by the protective isolation in which celebrities must live, something we're all much more aware of today. Or about the torment caused by the painkillers, depressants, stimulants, the thousands of doses he was prescribed as he sought to regulate his life.
You won't believe this. Even the President of the United States is forbidden from stepping foot upstairs at Graceland, Elvis Presley's legendary mansion. For over 45 years, millions of fans have walked through the doors, but that mysterious second floor remains completely sealed off, locked away from the world like a dark secret that refuses to die. Why? What horrifying truth is hidden up there? The place where Elvis took his very last breath. Today on Legend Secrets, we're breaking the silence and uncovering the shocking forbidden story that even Elvis wanted buried forever. If you love dark celebrity mysteries, hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what we reveal next. Chapter 1. Elvis in Graceland, where the king of rock and roll lived and died. On March 19, 1957, a 22-year-old Elvis Presley signed the papers and bought Graceland for just $102,000, roughly $1 million in today's money. The 14-acre estate in Memphis had once belonged to the Moore family. The white-columned mansion sat quietly under a clear spring sky as young Elvis walked through the front door for the first time. He had just returned from Hollywood, where filming for his second movie, Loving You, was already underway. For the boy from Tupelo who grew up in a two-room house, Graceland felt like stepping into a dream. He immediately claimed the second floor as his private kingdom. While the ground floor hosted parties, family, and endless visitors, the upstairs remained strictly off-limits to almost everyone. This was where Elvis could finally breathe. The master suite featured a large bedroom with a king-size bed, heavy curtains that blocked out the Memphis sun, and a private bathroom just a few steps away. Here, the king of rock and roll could relax, read, watch movies late into the night, and spend intimate time with girlfriends away from the constant glare of fame. The air upstairs smelled of his cologne, cigarette smoke, and the faint scent of the southern magnolias blooming outside the windows. Elvis poured money into expanding the mansion. What started as a modest 10,000 square foot home grew to nearly 17,000 square feet during his lifetime. He added the famous jungle room downstairs and turned the upstairs into a true sanctuary. Even most of his staff were never allowed up there. Only a handful of trusted people, his girlfriend at the time, close family, and a few bodyguards, ever saw the private world Elvis created for himself. On the evening of August 15, 1977, the weather in Memphis was hot and humid, typical for mid-August. Elvis had spent the day playing racquetball with friends and girlfriend Ginger Alden. Around 10:30 p.m., he went upstairs to his bedroom. The room was dimly lit. He changed into pajamas and settled in for the night. Ginger later recalled he seemed tired but otherwise normal. She stayed in the bedroom with him. A few hours later, in the early morning of August 16th, everything changed. Around 2 a.m., Elvis got up and went into the bathroom. The sound of the bathroom door closing was the last normal moment of the night. When Ginger woke up around 9 a.m. and noticed he hadn't returned, she knocked on the bathroom door. There was no answer. She pushed it open and found Elvis lying face down on the floor. His body was already cold. The scene was heartbreakingly ordinary. A man in his pajamas collapsed on the bathroom floor. There was no dramatic pose on the toilet like many tabloids later claimed. He was simply on the floor. Ginger screamed for help. Elvis's aunt and uncle, who lived on the property, rushed upstairs. The sound of panic echoed through the once quiet second floor. Paramedics arrived quickly, but it was too late. At 3:30 p.m. on August 16, 1977, doctors at Baptist Memorial Hospital pronounced Elvis Presley dead at the age of 42.
Hospital officials said he died of respiratory distress, but they were no more specific than that. In recent years, Presley was plagued by weight problems and fatigue.
A shocking and tragic detail that would fuel decades of rumors. In the days following Elvis Presley's sudden death on August 16, 1977, Graceland was filled with overwhelming grief. But Vernon Presley, Elvis's devastated father, faced a terrifying new problem. At Forest Hill Cemetery, where Elvis and his mother Gladys had been buried side by side, vandals and grave robbers had already tried to steal the king's body. Reports of attempted break-ins and desecration terrified the family. Vernon could not bear the thought of strangers disturbing his son's final resting place. He made a heartbreaking but necessary decision. Elvis and Gladys must come home to Graceland.
Which we will eventually get around to answering the majority of them. But I just wanted you to know that we appreciate them very much, appreciate your concern, and you have been a great help to me and the family during this time of grief.
On October 2nd, 1977, under the cover of night, a private and solemn procession took place. The air in Memphis was still warm with the lingering heat of early autumn. A small group of trusted family members and security personnel gathered at Forest Hill Cemetery as the sun began to set. The atmosphere was heavy with emotion. Vernon stood quietly, his face etched with exhaustion and sorrow, watching as workers carefully exhumed the caskets. The only sounds were the soft scrape of tools against earth, the low murmur of prayers, and the occasional rustle of leaves in the gentle southern breeze. Elvis's casket was lifted with the utmost care and reverence. The same man who had once commanded stadiums full of screaming fans was now being moved in complete silence, protected by the very family who had always tried to shield him. Gladys's casket followed. Vernon insisted on being present for every moment. He wanted to make sure his son and wife were treated with the dignity they deserved. Tears streamed down his face as the caskets were gently placed into waiting vehicles for the short journey back to Graceland. When the procession arrived at the mansion, the meditation garden, a peaceful, beautifully landscaped area behind the house, was ready. Elvis had always loved this quiet corner of the property. Now it would become the family's private resting place. Under the soft glow of security lights and the stars above, the caskets were lowered into their new graves. Vernon stood over the site for a long time, whispering final words to his son. The quiet southern night seemed to hold its breath as the king of rock and roll finally came home for the last time. Today, the meditation garden remains a sacred place. Elvis lies beside his mother Gladys, his father Vernon, who passed in 1979, and his grandmother Minnie Mae. In later years, his daughter Lisa Marie Presley and grandson Benjamin Keogh were laid to rest there as well, completing the family circle in the garden Elvis once walked through during happier times. The move was never about publicity or spectacle. It was a father's desperate act of love and protection, ensuring that the son he had lost would finally rest in peace, safe within the walls of the home they both loved. Even now, decades later, the meditation garden stands as a quiet reminder of the price of fame and the unbreakable bond of family. The upstairs of Graceland has remained frozen in time since that terrible morning. The bed Elvis slept in, the clothes in his closet, even the bathroom where he took his last breath, everything stays exactly as it was. Only a very small number of people have ever been allowed to see it. The second floor is more than just a room. It is the place where Elvis lived his most private moments and where he ultimately died. A locked door that still guards one of the greatest secrets in rock and roll history. Forbidden rule: no one is allowed upstairs. Even in life, Elvis Presley treated the second floor of Graceland as sacred ground. While the rest of the mansion was open to friends, family, and the occasional guest, the upstairs remained strictly private. Only those he personally invited were ever allowed past the black padded double doors at the top of the stairs. That rule didn't change when he died on August 16, 1977. If anything, it became ironclad. When Graceland opened to the public on June 7, 1982, Priscilla Presley and the estate made a clear decision. The second floor would stay locked forever. The official reason was simple: respect. This was the place where Elvis lived his most private moments and where he took his final breath. Letting thousands of strangers file through the bedroom and bathroom felt wrong, almost sacrilegious. The family wanted to protect the dignity of that space. But there was another, more practical reason. The layout of the upstairs hallway and rooms was never designed for large groups. Allowing public tours would have required major remodeling, something no one wanted to do to the original structure. So the door at the top of the stairs stayed closed, not just to tourists, but to almost everyone. Even powerful people were turned away. Former President Bill Clinton reportedly requested a private look upstairs and was politely but firmly denied. High-ranking officials and foreign dignitaries have all been told the same thing. The second floor is off limits. The rule is absolute. There have been only a handful of exceptions in more than 4 decades. One of the most famous came in 2002 during his brief but intense marriage to Lisa Marie Presley. Nicolas Cage was granted one of the rarest privileges in the world of Elvis lore: access to the forbidden second floor of Graceland. It happened on a couple of quiet nights when the mansion was empty of tourists and staff had gone home. The air that evening was thick with southern humidity, and the grand house felt eerily still under the dim security lights outside. Lisa Marie, who had grown up hiding upstairs during tours as a child, quietly led her then-husband up the staircase. The black padded double doors at the top of the stairs opened with a soft, heavy creak that echoed through the hallway. The moment they stepped inside, the temperature seemed to drop. The upstairs was dark, almost tomb-like, with heavy curtains drawn tight across the windows. The only light came from a few small lamps casting long, haunting shadows across the walls. Everything looked exactly as Elvis had left it in 1977, frozen in time. Cage later described the experience in vivid detail. He stepped into Elvis's master bedroom and saw the massive king-size bed with its elaborate headboard. The room smelled faintly of old cologne, aged wood, and the faint mustiness of a space long closed off from the outside world. Hanging in the adjacent dressing area were some of Elvis's iconic clothes: the white jumpsuits with glittering rhinestones, the black leather outfits from his 1968 comeback special, and several colorful stage costumes that still sparkled faintly even in the low light. The sight of those empty garments hanging there, perfectly preserved, sent a chill down Cage's spine. It was as if Elvis had just stepped out for a moment and might walk back in at any second. Lisa Marie encouraged him to sit on the bed. Cage lay back slowly, staring up at the ceiling. On the nightstand was the small fiber optic lamp Elvis had loved, the kind with thin plastic strands that spun slowly and changed colors from deep blue to green to soft red. As Cage watched the gentle spinning lights, he felt a strange, almost supernatural calm wash over him. He imagined Elvis lying in the exact same spot during his final years, staring at the same hypnotic colors, trying to find peace in the middle of his chaotic life. It was, Cage said, a poignant little moment, beautiful, intimate, and deeply moving. But the atmosphere upstairs was not entirely peaceful. The silence felt heavy, almost oppressive. Every creak of the old floorboards, every distant sound from the mansion below, made the hair on the back of Cage's neck stand up. For a brief second, he admitted, it almost felt like someone or something was watching them from the shadows of the hallway. The bathroom door, where Elvis was found on the floor that fateful morning in 1977, remained closed. Cage never went inside. He has always strongly denied the wild rumors that he tried on Elvis's clothes or posed in the bathroom recreating the death scene. I had too much respect for the family and for Elvis to do anything like that. he said firmly. Those rare nights upstairs left a lasting impression on Cage. He had been given a glimpse into the most private sanctuary of the king, a place where loneliness, addiction, and genius had all collided. It was a moment few people in the world will ever experience, and in the quiet darkness of Graceland's second floor, the legend of Elvis Presley felt more alive than ever. Another far more mysterious visitor has appeared in recent years. In 2024 and 2025, social media influencer Chewy Thompson, born December 2005, was reportedly escorted upstairs during regular tours. According to multiple accounts and videos, a disguised employee approached him, quietly led him away from the group, and took him up the stairs while security stood watch. Paparazzi later captured him leaving the mansion in the evening. Thompson has never fully explained why he was granted access, but the visits have fueled intense speculation online. Some claim he bears a striking resemblance to Elvis and whisper that he could be a secret grandson, a rumor that remains completely unproven. Whatever the reason, he became one of the very few non-family members in modern times to see the forbidden floor. The atmosphere upstairs is exactly what you would expect from a place frozen in time. The air feels heavier, cooler, and strangely still. Heavy curtains block most of the light, leaving the rooms in a perpetual twilight. Elvis's king-size bed is still made the way he left it. His personal items, books, a styrofoam cup on a shelf, the last record he played on the turntable, remain exactly where they were on that hot August morning in 1977. The record is a fresh pressing of J.D. Sumner and the Stamps, the gospel group that sang at his funeral. The bathroom where he collapsed on the floor has never been opened to the public. The door stays locked. Some staff members have described the entire second floor as having a quiet, almost sacred feeling, like walking into a room that still holds the echo of its former occupant. Clothes and many personal belongings have been moved to climate-controlled archives for preservation, but the overall layout and feeling remain unchanged. This level of preservation is rare. Most celebrity homes eventually get renovated or turned into generic museums. Graceland's upstairs is different. It is still treated as a private family space, even decades later. Riley Keough, Elvis's granddaughter and current owner of the estate, has spoken about hiding upstairs with her mother, Lisa Marie, during tours when she was younger, sometimes getting trapped there until the visitors left for the day. She described it as feeling close to her grandfather. The strict rule has only made the mystery deeper. Fans speculate endlessly about what really remains behind those black doors. Is there something shocking hidden upstairs? Or is it simply the most intimate and heartbreakingly normal parts of Elvis's life? A man's bedroom, his clothes, the quiet space where he finally found a little peace? For now, the answer stays locked away. Only a tiny number of people have ever been allowed to see it, and the rest of the world is left to wonder what secrets the second floor of Graceland is still keeping. Chapter 3. The most horrifying rumors and untold secrets. The rumors started almost immediately after Elvis Presley's death on August 16, 1977. Within weeks, whispers spread across Memphis and then across the country. Elvis is still alive. Some claimed he had faked his death to escape the crushing pressure of fame. Others, or they had seen him, older, thinner, but unmistakable, moving quietly through the second floor of Graceland late at night. Security guards on the night shift told stories of lights flickering on upstairs when no one was supposed to be there. A few even said they heard the low, unmistakable sound of Elvis's voice humming an old gospel tune through the vents. Tourists who visited Graceland in the years that followed added fuel to the fire. Many reported hearing strange noises coming from the locked second floor while they stood in the living room or the trophy room downstairs. Footsteps creaking across the wooden floor. The faint sound of laughter. That famous wonimom booming laugh of Elvis Presley. One woman from Ohio swore she heard two voices talking softly in 1984. Another visitor in the summer of 1992 claimed he heard the distinct sound of a record player spinning and Elvis singing along to How Great Thou Art. Every time staff were asked, they gave the same polite answer: the upstairs is sealed. No one goes up there. But the sounds kept coming. Then came the strangest visitor of all. In the summer of 2024, during a regular afternoon tour, a young Instagram influencer named Chewy Thompson was quietly approached by a staff member who seemed to appear out of nowhere. The man wore a cap pulled low and sunglasses even indoors. He leaned in close and whispered something to Chewy. Moments later, Chewy was quietly escorted away from the main group. Several security guards formed a loose circle around them as they climbed the stairs. A heavy black curtain was quickly hung at the top landing so no other tourists could see what was happening. The doors to the second floor, doors that had stayed locked for decades, opened for Chewy Thompson. He stayed up there for nearly an hour. When he came back down, his face was pale and his hands were shaking. He refused to answer questions from other visitors who had noticed the commotion. Later, in a short TikTok video, Chewy posted only a single line: "Some places still hold their secrets." The internet exploded. People pointed out how much Chewy resembled a young Elvis. The same jawline, the same smile, even the way he tilted his head. Rumors spread like wildfire. Chewy Thompson is Elvis Presley's secret grandson. Some claimed he was the son of one of Elvis's rumored affairs from the 1970s. Others said Linda Thompson, Elvis's longtime girlfriend in the mid-70s, had secretly given birth to a child that was hidden away. Chewy has never confirmed or denied any of it. He simply keeps returning to Graceland. The Presley family itself has added layers to the mystery. When Lisa Marie Presley died in January 2023, she was buried in the meditation garden at Graceland, right beside her father. Just a few months earlier, her son Benjamin Keogh had also been laid to rest there after his tragic death in 2020. The family plot now holds Elvis, his parents Vernon and Gladys, his grandmother Minnie Mae, Lisa Marie, and Benjamin. To outsiders, it looks like a beautiful, peaceful resting place. But those who know the family's history wonder what secrets are still buried with them. Why did Lisa Marie fight so hard to keep the upstairs private even after her father's death? What memories did she carry from the nights she spent up there as a little girl, hiding from tour groups with her mother? And what really happened in those final years when Elvis's health collapsed and the parties upstairs grew darker and more desperate? One of the most shocking details that has quietly circulated for years involves a small button installed next to Elvis's bed. Pressing it would ring a bell downstairs in the kitchen. At any hour of the night, sometimes at 3 or 4 a.m., Elvis would summon food: fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches, bowls of ice cream, entire plates of bacon and eggs. Staff members would carry the trays upstairs without question. The parties that followed were legendary. Friends, musicians, and beautiful women would appear at the mansion after midnight. Laughter and music would echo down the stairs until dawn. Some nights the sounds were joyful. Other nights, according to those who were there, the atmosphere turned heavy with tension, arguments, and the haze of prescription drugs. The upstairs became more than just a bedroom. It was Elvis's private kingdom and his prison. The same space where he once lay in bed, watching color-changing fiber optic lamps and dreaming of the future, was also the place where his body finally gave out on that humid August morning. Ginger Alden, his fiancée at the time, later described the awful silence that filled the second floor after they found him on the bathroom floor. The only sound was the distant hum of the air conditioning and the faint ticking of a clock. Even today, the rumors refuse to die. Every few months, a new story surfaces. A night guard who quit after hearing footsteps. A former maid who claims she once saw a shadow moving past the window at 2 a.m. A tourist who recorded strange voices on their phone. Graceland's official position remains the same. The upstairs is private, preserved exactly as Elvis left it, and will never be open to the public. But the questions linger in the humid Memphis air. Was Elvis really gone that day in 1977? Or did he simply retreat even deeper into the one place the world could never reach? And if Chewie Thompson or someone else is still being quietly led upstairs in the middle of ordinary tours, then maybe the greatest secret of Graceland isn't what's hidden behind those black padded doors, but who is still allowed to walk through them. Chapter 4. Elvis's Final Days, a Heartbreaking Tragedy. By the summer of 1977, Elvis Presley's life at Graceland had become a strange mix of luxury and isolation. He had developed a heavy nocturnal lifestyle. Most days he would sleep from early morning until late afternoon, often 12 to 14 hours at a time. The king, once full of endless energy on stage, now spent his waking hours in the quiet darkness of the upstairs master suite. Heavy curtains blocked out the bright Memphis sun. The only light came from the soft glow of lamps and the colorful spinning fiber optic lamp on his nightstand that he loved to stare at for hours. The room smelled of cigarette smoke, medicine, and the faint sweetness of the southern night air drifting in when the windows were briefly open. Elvis's nights were long and restless. He would stay up until dawn, eating late-night snacks ordered through the special button beside his bed. Peanut butter and banana sandwiches, bowls of ice cream, bacon, and eggs, anything to satisfy the cravings that came with his declining health. Friends and girlfriends would sometimes join him for all-night gatherings. Laughter would echo down the stairs, music would play softly, and for a few hours the king could pretend everything was still okay. But behind the closed doors, his body was breaking down. His face had grown puffy. His once powerful frame was swollen from medication and poor diet. He moved slower, spoke less, and spent more time lying in bed staring at the ceiling. The final night came on August 15th, 1977. It was a hot, humid evening in Memphis. The air felt thick and heavy. Elvis had spent part of the day playing racquetball downstairs with his friends and his fiancée, Ginger Alden. He seemed tired but in relatively good spirits. Around 10:30 p.m., he kissed Ginger goodnight and headed upstairs to his private suite. The house grew quiet. The only sounds were the distant hum of the air conditioning and the soft ticking of clocks. Sometime after midnight, Elvis got up and went into the bathroom. He was wearing his blue pajamas. Ginger, who had fallen asleep in the bedroom, woke up around 9 a.m. the next morning and noticed he hadn't returned to bed. She called out to him. There was no answer. Worried, she knocked on the bathroom door. Still nothing. When she pushed the door open, she found him lying face down on the cold bathroom floor. The scene was devastating. Elvis was on his stomach, one arm stretched out, his body already cold. Ginger screamed for help. The sound of her panic cut through the quiet second floor like a knife. Elvis's aunt and uncle rushed upstairs. Someone called for paramedics. For several agonizing minutes, they tried to revive him on the bathroom floor, pressing on his chest, calling his name, desperately hoping for any sign of life. But it was too late. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, had collapsed from cardiac arrhythmia. Prescription drugs and years of declining health had finally caught up with him. He was only 42 years old. The family immediately tried to control the narrative. In those first chaotic hours, they worked hard to hide the full extent of Elvis's drug use. Official statements focused on cardiac issues rather than the dangerous cocktail of painkillers, sedatives, and other medications he had been taking for years. Vernon Presley, devastated and protective, wanted to shield his son's image. The truth about the extent of Elvis's addiction would slowly leak out in the following months and years, shocking fans who had seen him as invincible. The bathroom where he was found remained exactly as it was that morning for a long time. The tile floor, the fixtures, even the position where his body lay. Everything stayed frozen in time. It became the most private and painful part of Graceland, the place where the king's larger-than-life story came to a quiet, heartbreaking end. Elvis's final days were not the glamorous rock star ending many imagine. They were filled with loneliness, physical pain, and a man struggling to hold on to the life he had built. The upstairs suite that had once been his sanctuary had become both his refuge and his final resting place before the world said goodbye. Elvis may have been the king of rock and roll, but the upstairs of Graceland remains the biggest unsolved mystery, one that even his own family refuses to fully reveal. Is there something truly horrifying hidden behind those locked doors? Or is Elvis still living in his own way, in the one place the world can never touch? What do you think about the dark secret of Graceland's second floor? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you love uncovering the darkest celebrity mysteries, hit like, share, and subscribe to Legend Secrets. Don't miss the next shocking story. See you soon.